GTA for the ops and on less stuff. Yo, shout out Astro. Let's do this. Flip a bag, now I'm serving a Tesla. Got my bag, shawty with me, I step up. GTA for the ops.
Alright guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be remaking my How to Edit Like Rekz video into a version 2 because frankly that video has not aged well whatsoever. Alright, so let's get started. The first thing we're going to want to do is add the cinematic right here. I'm going to cut the start, and we're going to split it by pressing U right there, and then we're going to add 4 video layers. Now these are going to be the text animation, right? So we're going to add this text right here, and just, I could say, highlights. Resize it to your liking. I prefer to have it smallish, just like that. Now we're gonna add another one. Just gonna do this, just like that, and change font and resize it to be smaller than the one above, just like that. And now we want to drag in the Twitter logo right there, and this one right here is gonna be your Twitter handle. So mine is just Zqoh, and we can resize it like so and recenter it. Alright, then let's get started with the animation. So right here, you want to click on the crop and then enable masking. Click right here and then make a rectangle with the rectangle tool just above the text. Go about 20 frames in and then drag it down. Now to that point you want to change, or you want to drag the second text by big above that and enable masking on this one. Do the same thing, but draw the rectangle beneath the text. Go 20 frames in and drag it up. This is going to result in this effect right here. You just want to make sure it's timed up properly so that it starts the second you can fully see the highlights text. So it'll look like that. Highlights, it'll say, and then by your name, obviously doesn't have to be by dig. And then right here we want this, we want the logo to just come in and kind of swoop this text away, obviously. So we don't actually need to mask this. Make sure to resize it, however. Go to position again, resize and make sure it's big enough to cover both of the text layers. Just like that. Delete that one. And want to drag it right there, and now go 25 frames in, 22 frames in, and just drag it here. So let me see how this looks. Alright, I have officially done it in the wrong order. It should be like this. Should start on that side, and okay, what's happened here? Okay, the fuck? Oh, there we go. So do that. This first keyframe right here, you want it to be on the right side in your cropping tool, and the left side in here. So it'll look like this, and we need to drag it out slightly more, just like so. And now we want the text to vanish after the logo, right? So right here, make a keyframe right before the logo touches the text, and then scroll forward to when you can see the text after the logo. Step back 1 and then delete as much text as you can. So we can just delete this right here, and right here you can't actually see the by, so we just delete that. And right here we delete most of the dig, and right here all of it's gone. So this looks like this. If there's anything like this, you can just kind of make adjustments like that, and there we go. Now we want to do the same thing with this text. Just scroll back to when you can see to when the image doesn't actually touch the text. Scroll forward and delete that. Forward again. Delete that. Forward again. Forward again. And now it's all gone. Amazing. Now we obviously want the text to appear. We want our handle to appear after the photo. So what we're gonna do by that is we're gonna open this up, enable masking right here, click on the first keyframe, make a rectangle big enough to cover the entire text on the left side. And let us see here. We want to drag this down up here, and we just want to go to here, and we want to make the text available. We want to drag the masking tool over the text when the text is behind the logo. So just like that. If we want to copy this keyframe and put it one frame behind that, just like so. And want to keep going right here. Everything up until the G is visible, or is not visible, and right here everything up until half the A, and right here everything is visible. So now we got everything right here, just like so. Alright, now we're gonna want to add some effects to this. So let's get started by adding some S-shake. Add it only to your handle. Do 0.1 and 1. And to your cinematic, gonna want to add 0.3 and 1. Now to your cinematic, you're also gonna want to speed it up. If it's an overview like this, I recommend that you have it as an overview view, and decrease the opacity to about 40%, let's say. And now we have this. And you want to decide when you've seen the handle enough, which is about there for me. And you want to split it and just make sure it fades out. Now have the text fade out slightly later than the actual cinematic. It adds for a dynamic effect. We're gonna want to add some music now, since we're gonna add a clip. So we're gonna add this clip right here, and we'll just drag that down to here. We're gonna make another audio layer, drag that down there. Now we're good to go. It's gonna fade out, and then we can fade it in right there. But first of all, we need to trim this right here. So we need to make sure there's not too much downtime in the actual video, right? So we're gonna want to trim the clip so that there isn't too much just running around and more shooting. And now that we've done that, we need to go to the 200 pump. And this is just for the first clip, by the way. We want to time that up perfectly with the beat drop in the song. So right there, and right there. Let's see if this works. Yes, it does. Okay, we want to fade in the music, and we want to fade in this as well. Just like that. Okay, now we're gonna want to split this and delete all the talking. And now we can add the muffle sound effect to the first clip, or to the cinematic right here. So we add the resonant filter, and then we scroll down the presets and add muffler and make this 500. The higher your frequency, the less muffle there will be. Keep that in mind. So this is gonna sound like this. Just like that. Okay. Now we want to split this as well, and add you right click this hamburger icon into remove envelope and pan. We want to add a keyframe right there, and you want to add a keyframe right before the clip. Now this is gonna make the audio go from your left to right ear, your phone or ear set, or whatever the fuck you call it, or your stereo. You can just kind of play around with this like so. It's gonna make it sound cool, I guess. So just listen to this. Just like that. amazing. Now, right on the clip right here, we're gonna wanna split it, and we're gonna wanna split it roughly here as well. Now, to this thing right here, we add some build-up. For build-up, I suggest adding S flicker, maybe turning it down to 0.15, and we wanna add BCC cartoon look. That comes with the BCC plugin. Just like so. We want to animate the mix with original. Now, at the start, should be 0%, but right here on the final keyframe, we want to make it 100. Just like that. Just like that. Now we want to add the BCC mixed colors to this part of the clip right here. Scale X, just copy my settings right here, and then 169 right there. We will want to rotate it slightly like this to maybe call it 34. Brightness turned up, contrast turned down, red balance turned up, blue balance turned up, green balance turned down, detail, decrease detail, coarseness, add coarseness, and we want to animate the mutation and the opacity. The opacity should be set to 46 at all times, except when you don't want there to be any effect. And just here, we want to turn it down towards the end of the clip. And with the mutation, we want it to start at 1 and end at about, call it 3. So it's gonna look like this. Just like that. You can turn up the opacity if you want to. It'll just make it more, you know, colory. It depends on how you want it to be. Now we're gonna want to go ahead and add the second clip and do a little something with the transition. First of all, we're gonna want to check for the next beat drop. It's right there. Now we want to trim the clip. I wouldn't recommend having this much downtime in your actual video, but since I am just making a tutorial, I'm gonna do this for convenience sake, but please don't have this much downtime in your actual clips. We got it right here, right there. We're gonna want to add a transition to this, right? A transition Rekz uses a lot is the BCC Damage TV Dissolve. We just go ahead and drag it to the split right there. We don't really need to change any settings. That could be an image you have, or an issue you have. Just go ahead and drag it down just like I did, and then drag it out from this clip right here. Don't drag it out. I don't actually know what the issue is here. We could go ahead and drag that out. Yeah. Just like that. Okay, now for his sniper effect, we're gonna want to go ahead and open the cropping tool, enable masking, and go to where the crosshair appears on the screen. Add a keyframe. Go back a frame. Add another keyframe. Right there. Then right here we're going to want to add a sphere to the middle, and this basically allows us to edit the actual crosshair. Just like so. We can make it a bit smaller actually. And just like that. Make sure it looks like that, and just scroll ahead and add a frame or a keyframe where the crosshair is visible, and scroll one frame forward, and then delete the masking thing. Now you go to rotation right here, add a keyframe to the first keyframe, or above the first keyframe, and a keyframe above the second keyframe. Now you go to the middle one, and here's where you can play around with it. I like to zoom out a lot and just twist it roughly like this. Rekz plays around with this from clip to clip. I think you can as well. Just find whatever you think looks good. Just like that. Okay. I'd like to add some hue set bright to this, as I think it fits. And let's go ahead and delete that effect, and we can actually split the clip after you've done the masking. Split it right there, and make sure you get the music as well with the split, and right there. Now we add some hue set bright to this, and keyframe the hue shift, and at the end make it 1000. There we go. And now we're gonna want to go ahead and add some muffle to the music. So go ahead and add resonant filter, add OK, and then we've gone over this already, the muffler, and then 500. You can make it 450 or even you can make it 550 or 350, won't really matter. Just like that. Alright, we want to add some velocity after the hyperclip. And wait until the character is fully out of the scope, and start the slow-mo after that. Just like that. And now we want to add some S-blur. Copy my settings, it's 0.10 learn about. And blur is something you need to be very careful with. You don't want it throughout your entire clip, it could ruin it. So just drag it down after a while, just like so. And a shake never hurts, right? And right here, we're gonna wanna add, just turn it down after a while, like right here. This is something I actually think I missed in my first clip. You can, this is the taste, you can do whatever you want pretty much. Just make sure you're not overdoing anything. Less is way better than more in these types of scenarios. You don't want an over video, you want an under video, pretty much. So, and we actually did forget to add slow-mo to this as well. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Just add a keyframe roughly in the middle, and turn this to normal actually, and make this 40%. And let's go over the video again. We got the muffle right here. We can add we could add a pad to this as well. Just like that. We can delete that one and that one, and we can make it sound pretty playful right here. Just like that. Alright, a few things I forgot to mention. This is Reks's classic gun cock effect right here. It sounds like this. Just like that. It will be linked in the description along every other downloadable sound effect I used in the video. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, give me suggestions on what video I should do next. Really appreciate it. And that is me signing off. I hope you enjoyed the video.